Viktor's my favorite character in Arcane, and I think he perfectly embodies the themes of the show. Now with Season 2 fully out, it's also clear to see that without him, the show simply doesn't work, since he's really the catalyst for all of the story's events. Viktor is an encapsulation of what Arcane stands for. Viktor stems from the Undercity, poor, crippled, and diseased, left behind by Piltover and looked down upon. According to one of the show's writers, though it's never depicted in the final cut, Viktor wasn't actually allowed to be a student at the academy. But instead, his mother saved up enough money to buy him a uniform, so he could pretend to be a student until he could finally be noticed for his talents. Eventually he's caught, but instead of any sort of punishment, Professor Heimerdinger sees Viktor's potential and takes him under his wing as his protege, showing that no Undercity dweller can escape without deception, unable to leave their squalor without playing into what Piltover believes them to be in the first place. Not so many, however, are as lucky as Viktor. Regardless of intelligence, cunning, or pure grit, those like Silco, Vander, and even Echo, who clearly have all of these things in spades, are unable to reach the heights of Piltover. Now this could just be due to the fact that they refuse to leave their people behind. As we see in the show, they very clearly believe heavily in Zahn and building up that dream of independence, even if their methods in achieving that vary pretty heavily. The difference between Viktor and the others is the pursuit of progress, ingenuity, and technological advancement. Viktor perfectly shows Arcane's themes of corruption by power, progress, and invention. While Jace is entrapped by political corruption, Viktor finds himself in the depths of the earth, experimenting, trying to improve nature. Experimenting on himself, injecting himself with Shimmer, and attempting to fuse himself with the Arcane, all to mend his broken body, defying nature, his nature. He will not let it take him. This illness, this disease, it will not take him. His invention succeeds. He can walk again. Hell, he can run. He has a chance to escape his disease. Escape who he is. Become something better. It's like the first time he and Jace created Hextech. There is hope. Hope for the future. Hope for Piltover. Hope for Zahn. But like always, that hope dies fast. Sky is absorbed by the Hex Core. He scatters her ashes in the ravine they used to play in when they were kids. He never did know her well enough to know a place that she would have preferred. He never allowed himself. Work was always more important. Viktor, realizing his mistake, begs Jace to destroy the Hex Core. Jace promises him, but when Viktor is critically injured and Jace holds him in his arms, he can't help but know that there's something he can do. Jace runs to the Hex Core. It merges with Viktor entirely, bringing him back from the brink of death. As Viktor awakes days later, he's changed. He's no longer entirely human, nor is he purely an unfeeling automaton. He is something new. Feeling betrayed that not only did Jace not destroy the Hex Core, not only did he use it on him to turn him into this thing, but he's also continuing to manufacture Hextech weapons, another broken promise to not just Viktor, but to Jace himself. Viktor wanders in the Undercity. He's not lost, however. He feels a sense of unknown purpose. He's led somewhere by the ghost of Sky. As Viktor finds his apparent destination, he's threatened by Shimmer junkies, one of which being familiar to us. Once a loyal but meek patron of Vander's bar turned cowardly rat who betrayed Vi and Caitlin. Feeling all of their pain, Viktor reaches his hand out and heals him. He takes away his plight, and he and the others fall to their knees before him. As the Undercity's twink Jesus, Viktor is able to help those in need and create a new society. Yet again, he is able to use his creation for prosperity and progress. Yet again, Viktor has found his calling. Not only does he heal people's physical ailments, but also mental ones. All those cured by Viktor are calmer, without self-doubt. No more fear, no more cowardice, or arrogance. They are all perfect, glorious evolution. But all good things come to an end. As Viktor has seen time and time again with each and every creation, Jace, his former partner, his best friend, betrays him. His own himbo Judas. In his near death, he comes to a conclusion. Free will breeds suffering. choice is malignant chaos with no end. He possesses his lifeless disciples as one being, waging war on Piltover in the name of peace alongside Ambessa. Rarely in their pursuits did Jace and Viktor agree on what to do with their harnessing of the Arcane, but now they're two sides of the same coin. War is coming to Piltover. As Viktor reaches the Hex Gates, he's finally able to reach the minds of every citizen of Piltover. Finding himself in the exact spot he found his alternate self in the universe where he failed, Jace accepts his fate and gives in. But with time on his side, Echo is able to get close enough to Viktor to throw the Z-Drive at him, destroying the facade Viktor created for himself, revealing the humanity underneath. Jace shows Viktor that it was actually him who sent Jace to stop him in the first place, and the one to show him the Arcane in every timeline, without fail.
Only you can show me this.
I don't believe that there is a reality that Hextech exists where it isn't corrupted, politicized, and used to destroy and take life. Viktor and Jace know this now. They hold one another, sacrificing themselves to save everyone in Piltover, perhaps everyone in Runeterra. Viktor's story is one of progress for the sake of progress. It's a very human story which, in real life and subsequently in fiction, almost always leads to the most inhumane of outcomes. Viktor, just like the majority of the characters in Arcane, do what they can to help the most people, but like the others, tend to fall short of making any real positive change without the pursuit of greatness or power getting in their way. The show makes a point to say that it isn't the technology itself that's evil. Echo uses the Z-Drive positively in the short time he has it, but how long until that technology was used selfishly? Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Viktor's repeated mistakes and brief moments of lucidity as to what he and Jace have done is a perfect encapsulation of the show's themes of power, intention, and progress. It's shown through Vander, who had dreamt of an independent Zon, but rage and war consumed his life in his early years, and even when he had left it behind, eventually it led to his death. Same goes for Silco, whose need for vengeance stemmed from the same moment of violence in that harbor. The reason I believe that Viktor embodies these themes better than most of the characters in the show is because while the majority of those we see from the Undercity are consumed by the past, held back by old wounds, and those from Piltover are consumed by the future, forever reaching for nothing, Viktor is tortured by both, representing his dual identities as a Zonite and a Topsider, never really fitting into either role. He tries to ignore the wounds even as he bleeds, and he tries to reach for something that just isn't there. Viktor is a flawed man who wanted to help people, regardless of who they were or where they were from. And I think that he said it best as to why that dream never came to be.
Lost our dream. In the pursuit of great, we failed to do good. We have to make it right.